Hello, my friends. Welcome back to English Flow Studio. I'm David, and I'm really happy you are here with me today. I want to start with a small story. A few years ago, a young woman named Sarah started learning English. She was very serious about it. She studied every single day. She memorized long lists of difficult words. Words like commence, utilize, endeavor, perceive. She wrote these words in her notebook. She practiced them every night before sleeping. One day, Sarah went to a coffee shop. An English speaker sat next to her. They smiled at each other, and they started talking. And Sarah froze. All those difficult words, they disappeared. Her mind went blank. She could not find the words. She could not speak. She felt embarrassed. She felt like a failure. But here's the truth. Sarah did not fail because her English was bad. Sarah failed because she was using the wrong strategy. She was learning words that her brain could not use quickly, words that native speakers almost never use in real conversation. Today, I am going to show you what Sarah needed to learn. Not more words, not harder words, just 5 simple, powerful words that will completely change the way you speak English. And I promise you this, by the end of this episode, you will never look at simple English the same way again. Stay with me. Let's begin.
Let me ask you something surprising. How many words do you think a native English speaker uses in daily conversation? 5,000? 10,000? The answer will truly surprise you. In real, everyday conversation, most native speakers use only about 1,500 words again and again. Just 1,500 words do almost all the work. And inside those words, there are 5 verbs that appear more than almost anything else. Get, make, take, go, come. Say them with me slowly. Get, make, take, go, come. These 5 verbs are not simple because they are weak. They are simple because they are incredibly strong. They work in hundreds of different situations. They carry hundreds of different meanings. They are the engine of real spoken English, and most English learners ignore them completely, just like Sarah did. Today, we are going to change that, one verb at a time. Our first magic verb is get. Most learners know that get means to receive something. You get a gift, you get a message, you get a phone call. Yes, this is true, but get is so much bigger than that. And this is what most learners never discover. Let me show you something. I am going to give you 4 completely different situations, and in every single situation, native speakers use the same verb. Situation 1. You finally understand a difficult problem. You feel that moment of clarity, and you say, "Oh, I get it." Situation 2. After a very long day, you feel completely exhausted. You say, "I got so tired today." Situation 3. You arrive at your house after work. You open the door and you say, "I just got home." Situation 4. You have an important meeting in 10 minutes. You say, "I need to get ready." 4 situations, 4 completely different meanings, 1 verb, get. Now think about what a learner might say instead. I comprehend it. I became fatigued. I arrived at my residence. I must prepare myself. These sentences are not wrong, but they are heavy. They are slow. They sound like a textbook, not like a human being. And this is the most important thing about get. When you use get, you sound human. And sounding human, that is always the goal. Let's practice together now. Say each sentence out loud after me. Speaking out loud is very important. Your mouth needs to practice, not just your eyes. I get it. I got so tired. I just got home. I need to get ready. Let's get started. Beautiful. Get is your first magic verb.
Our second magic verb is make. Make is the verb of results. When you make something, something happens. Something is created. Something changes in the world. But what makes make so special is this. It connects you to the result personally. It makes your English feel honest and real. Listen to this difference. An error was committed versus I made a mistake. The first sentence sounds cold. It sounds like someone is hiding. But I made a mistake, this sounds honest. This sounds like a real person taking responsibility. This is the power of make. Let me give you the most important make expressions in daily English. When you decide something, I made a decision. When you earn money, I made some money. When something goes wrong, I made a mistake. When you help someone feel good, I made her happy. When you are improving, I am making progress. When you call someone, I need to make a call. When you prepare a drink, let me make some tea. Now let me tell you a short story using make. Listen carefully. Yesterday, David woke up late. He made some coffee quickly. He made a few calls in the morning. At work, he made a mistake in an important document. He felt terrible, but his manager looked at him and said, "It's okay, David. You are making progress. Just keep going." And those 4 simple words made David feel so much better. Did you hear how many times make appeared in that story? 6 times, in completely natural, everyday sentences. Let's practice now. I made a mistake. I made a decision. I'm making progress. Let me make some tea. You made me happy. Excellent. Make is your second magic verb.
Our third magic verb is take. Take is the verb of action and choice. When you take something, you are moving toward it. You are actively choosing it. You are doing it. And in English, take appears in some of the most common expressions you will hear every single day. When you need to rest, I need to take a break. When you want to look at something, let me take a look. When you invite someone to sit, please take a seat. When you wash yourself, I'm going to take a shower. When you accept something hard, I will take responsibility. When you make a photograph, can I take a photo? Now listen to these 2 sentences carefully. I will observe the document and then respond to your message. Or, let me take a look and I'll get back to you. The second sentence is shorter, it's faster, it's warmer, and did you notice it used 2 magic verbs together, take and get, both in one natural sentence. This is how real English flows. The magic verbs work beautifully together. Let's practice take now. I need to take a break. Let me take a look. Please take a seat. Can I take a photo? I will take responsibility. Wonderful. Take is your third magic verb.
Our fourth magic verb is go. You already know that go means to move somewhere. I go to work. I go home. I go to the shop, of course. But there is another side of go that most learners never discover, and once you see it, you will notice it everywhere. Go is also the verb of change. When something moves from one state to another, when something transforms, English speakers use go. Listen carefully to these examples. When someone becomes very angry, he went crazy. When a plan fails, everything went wrong. When a person becomes silent, she went quiet. When electricity stops working, the power went out. When food becomes old and bad, the milk went bad.
When time passes very quickly, the day went so fast. When someone disappears, he went missing. In every single one of these sentences, something is changing, and go captures that change perfectly. Now compare these two sentences one more time. The situation deteriorated significantly due to unexpected complications. Or, everything just went wrong. Same meaning, completely different feeling. One sounds like a formal report, the other sounds like a real person talking to a real friend. And in spoken English, real always wins over formal. Let's practice go together. He went crazy. Everything went wrong. She went quiet. The power went out. The day went so fast. Great work. Go is your fourth magic verb.
Our fifth and final magic verb is come. Come is the verb of arrival and return, and like all our magic verbs, it carries so much more meaning than most learners realize. When you return home, I came home late. When you enter a room, come in. When you visit a friend, can you come over? When an idea arrives in your mind suddenly, the idea just came to me. When something becomes real after a long time, my dream came true. When you want to reply to someone later, I'll come back to that. Now I want you to feel this last expression, not just understand it, really feel it. My dream came true. This is not a grammar exercise. This is a human moment. This is what English sounds like when it is alive, when it carries real emotion. And notice, there is no difficult word here. Dream, came, true. 3 simple words, 1 powerful feeling. This is the beauty of simple English. Let's practice come together. I came home late. Come in. Can you come over? The idea came to me. My dream came true. I'll come back to that. You have now learned all 5 magic verbs. Say them with me one final time. Get, make, take, go, come.
Now, before we finish, I need to tell you the most important thing of this entire episode. Many learners believe this: if my English is simple, it is not good enough. If I use easy words, people will not respect my English. I understand why learners feel this way. I really do. But think about the best conversations you have ever had, in any language. Were those conversations full of difficult, complicated words, or were they warm, easy, and natural? The best conversations are always simple, because simple words create connection, and connection is the entire point of language. When you use simple words, 3 beautiful things happen. Your brain works faster, you feel less nervous, and you speak more freely. And when you speak more freely, you improve faster. This is the cycle that leads to real fluency. Not memorizing hundreds of difficult words, speaking freely with a few powerful ones. Here is your practice plan for this week. It is very simple, just like our verbs. On Monday, focus only on get. Every time you want to say understand, receive, become, or arrive, use get. On Tuesday, focus on make. Every time you talk about a result or a creation, use make. On Wednesday, focus on take. Look for moments to say take a break, take a look, take a photo. On Thursday, focus on go. Notice how things change around you and describe them with go. On Friday, focus on come. Practice come home, come in, come over, my dream came true. And on the weekend, use all 5 together. Talk to yourself in English. Write a few sentences in English. Use your 5 magic verbs freely and naturally. By the end of this week, these verbs will feel like your own words. Because they will be. And that brings us to the end of today's episode. Do you remember Sarah, the young woman who froze in the coffee shop? The woman who memorized hundreds of difficult words but could not speak a single sentence when it mattered? If Sarah had learned these 5 verbs deeply, if she had truly made get, make, take, go, and come her own, that conversation in the coffee shop would have been completely different. She would have spoken. She would have laughed. She would have connected with another human being through the beautiful, simple power of English. And that same joy, that same connection is waiting for you. You do not need big words to say big things. You never did. Thank you so much for being here today, my friends. If this episode helped you, please share it with one friend who is learning English. You might change their journey completely. Until next time, keep practicing, keep speaking, and keep flowing with English. Bye for now.